Okay, we live. All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First thing and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, HaKadosh. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessing to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom Barakatham. This is your brothers in the KC camp of Great Millstone, coming to you to bring some more news and prophecy regarding the latest events in America. As you can see, the title is the Spirit of War is in the earth. Okay. And the Lord prophesied these things a long time ago, and he sent the message through his men today, the prophets, to break these things down to you. So we got a few videos we want to play. If any brother got an initial precept, go ahead, but we're going to play some of these videos and see how the Spirit move. I'm going to try to go 30 minutes.
Yeah, Con,
I got a precept.
You got it, y'all. So
I was going to say, yeah, I got a precept after the video plays, but go ahead, bro.
okay, this is Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up.
That's right. Break it down.
Yeah, Con, witnessing, the Lord got the spirit of war back because it's a time and a season for everything. And we pretty much see these nations gathering up. Everybody's picking their sides, man. And, it's pretty much going to be everybody versus America in those damn small hats. And that's pretty much what we see gearing up to take place.
That's right. Because the Lord said that at the end, when you read that in 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter, there's going to be a lot of confusion and chaos, man. Like we were just witnessing a brother's dream about one of the fallouts of this war and this warlike spirit is these women becoming widows, man. And that giving way to Isaiah 4:1 and all of these things, man. So these are the times that we're in war, and it's about to get ugly. All right. Anybody that appreciate it, not on play this video.
And we can get to the video.
Okay.
Gotta unmute that.
Could cross those skies without U.S. approval. This wasn't Israel acting alone. It was a joint signal of power and betrayal. Every radar around Al Udeid Air Base would have tracked the attack. Washington's complicity is undeniable. By allowing this strike, the U.S. proved that Qatar's so-called ally status collapses the moment Israel demands protection. Qatar is now the 10th country hit by Israel since October 2023. From Gaza to Lebanon, from Syria to Iraq, Iran, Yemen, and Egypt, to international waters near Malta, the flotilla ship in Tunisia, and today, Doha. Netanyahu's doctrine erases all borders. Expansion without restraint, violence without accountability. This is the blueprint of Greater Israel. Hamas leaders were in Doha, reviewing Donald Trump's latest ceasefire plan when Israel struck. This is the pattern. Dangle negotiations, keep them busy, then assassinate them mid-talks. Israel does not want peace, only impunity. Reports emerged that the delegation, headed by senior official Khalil al-Hayya, survived the Israeli strike in Doha. Sources told news outlets. But survival doesn't change the outcome. This was a blatant act of war, carried out with American cover. By green-lighting the Doha strike, Washington and Tel Aviv delivered one chilling message. Arab sovereignty exists only at Israel's convenience. No capital is safe, not even under America's shadow. What do you think this means for the region? Share your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah. Con, I just want to say that, this just absolutely proves that these people are the Edomites, man.
Yeah.
He has full reign over the earth. He can go anywhere at any time and just kill people at will.
Yep.
And the United Nations, they'll consider you a war criminal. I believe they labeled Netanyahu as a war criminal.
Yeah.
But nobody is gonna. You can't check the person in charge, man, because he make the rules.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's like 140 countries or something like that too.
That's right. Because since he's been labeled as a war criminal, you would think all these countries would actually just go ahead and try to take this dude out. But notice how they're not doing shit about it. Why? Because you got the hammer of the earth that's in power right now, and they're scared.
That's right.
Because there's so many different connections. They got United States in their pocket. You got Great Britain in their pocket. All these other countries, man.
Yep.
As the video showed you, it goes from all that in red is what they took over or attacked and trying to take over.
Yeah, if you go back a little bit, it kind of shows. I don't know if I can scroll back
and follow map.
But it kind of I can't show it again, but it showed a larger map of what all the area that they want to conquer. And it's basically when you look at the map, it's basically the land of Shem that the Lord promised Abraham from the Nile to the Euphrates. Those are all of the countries that it highlighted in this video that they're currently trying to take over. It might show it again. I'm not sure.
Simplicity is
but it's replaying it right now. But I had a precept. Salakia. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 6. It says, "Therefore pride compassed them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment." All right, and it says, "Their eyes stand out with fatness; they have more than their heart could wish." You see, and you can see this. This is a key identifier of Satan.
Can y'all hear?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Kind of, I can. Use a little choppy out.
Okay, that might be me. Salakia, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, though. Salakia.
Oh, you good, brother? This is Psalm 73 and 7. It says, "Their eyes stand out with fatness; they have more than their heart could wish." So, this is basically an identifying factor of the devil, man. You see, they got everything. He's a multi-billionaire. He's got the fatness of the earth already. But what is he doing? Bombing other people, man. He could easily just set up trade deals and use diplomacy, but as the scriptures say, war was in his heart.
God. And another precept as well.
Kind of.
This is Jeremiah 50 and 22. And it says, "The sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction." So there's a lot of heavy talks that we're basically entering in World War III, because this is what's going on over there in the Middle East. But the hot point right now, recently, this past week, has been what's happening over there in Ukraine. Russia is basically blatant out saying that NATO has already started World War III. They got Russian drones going in different areas in the airspaces, and they're having to shoot them down. So any day now, we can expect some type of a pocket nuke to go off or a severe missile strike on one of these NATO countries.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah. To back that point up, you had the information going out where French hospitals was told to prepare for war by 2026, and you had several articles going out about it. They pretty much told hospitals to get ready, man. That they could be looking at war, and they put about March 2026, but 2026 they're warning to be ready for war, those hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically gonna feel like tomorrow, man. Is the way this time is moving.
Yeah. Makes sense.
We are already getting at the end of this year because we're already approaching the end of September. It's fucking crazy. We're getting into October, November, December, and that's it, man. Next thing you know, spring is around the corner, and who's to say that things couldn't happen sooner? Because their president, he did get up on stage and he said that, hey, prepare for World War III is going down.
Yeah. Wow. So, that's the spirit, because the month of March means war.
God. Mm-hmm. And notice what's happening in Ukraine.
Yeah, it does. That's
over there in Poland's airspace too is getting heavily infiltrated with drones.
Yeah,
and that's the exact same place that World War III started, was in Poland. So the irony.
World War II,
Slovakia. The irony in that.
Con. Yep, September 1st.
God. But yeah, there's another video as well too. Unless we're gonna replay this one again.
No, I'm gonna go to it in a second.
Yeah, we keep going. And while the brother's getting that, I just wanted to say that part of the ways that Israel is able to do all these things throughout the planet Earth is because they have America as a backup reinforcement, and America is in their hands. So really the American army is the Israeli army, and that's one of the most powerful militaries in the world. So that's why nobody's really checking Israel like that, is because America is backing them up, and they don't want that smoke. But as I could pull it out later because we got the video, but the scriptures say, the beast shall hate the horse. So everybody's gonna realize America and Israel gotta go.
That's right. That's right. When you looked at them comments, man, like we can kind of, they turn the comments off on this one, but on the other video, they was getting ate up, man. Like they ain't even trying to hide it no more. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, once they bring out that information, that map, like there's no disputing that.
Bro, 10 countries, bro, in under 2 years. Like, sit your ass down, man. Like, he really don't give a fuck.
Right. God.
Like, the Lord got to come back and squash this nigga, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's play this.
Leaves for Europe tomorrow morning, flies right into a major new threat from Russia. Today, the Kremlin said Moscow believes that NATO is already at war with Russia. NATO is at war with Russia. News to us, news to you. A week after violating the airspace of NATO member Poland, Putin's regime is complaining the West is acting like the aggressor in the region. They always play the victim. The UK decided to send Typhoon fighter jets to Poland. Remember, the world's worst war in human history began in Poland. And this now puts NATO jets within a few minutes of their Russian enemies. Former Supreme Allied Commander of NATO, General Philip Breedlove, is with us. First News Nation's Robert Sherman, live where it is already early morning in Kyiv. Robert, good morning.
Hey there, Leland. Well, just in the last couple of hours here, we've heard the sirens blaring twice in Kyiv as Russia keeps the pressure on. But the tension is not exclusive to Ukraine. Romania, the latest NATO country, in order to see Russian drones in its airspace, just days after that incident in Poland in which NATO fired its first shots of the war since this war broke out here in Ukraine in order to down drones in Poland. President Trump saying that he's ready to go on upping the sanctions on Russia if Europe lives up to its end of the bargain and starts weeding off of Russian oil. But the Kremlin today saying that all these tensions here are the fault of NATO. Dmitry Peskov, Kremlin spokesperson, telling reporters today, quote, NATO is providing direct and indirect support to the Kyiv regime. It can be said with absolute certainty that NATO is fighting against Russia. And as the president heads to Europe to meet with King Charles and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, war in Ukraine will once again be front and center. Leland?
Robert, thank you very much. General Breedlove now with us. General, good to see you. As always, put aside for a second the Kremlin spin. The second point I think is pretty interesting that Trump is making. Basically, the United States is willing to get tough if Europe does. Is the president right to point out that the Europeans want America to carry the burden and they can keep buying cheap Russian oil?
Can you pause that?
Well, first of all,
hey, this is facts though, because the regular nightly news, they keep showing you, Trump, Zelensky, and Putin, they all having these talks like there's going to be some resolution. But the whole time, Russia's playing these motherfuckers in their face, man. Mm-hmm. They're sitting down these meetings talking about they want peace. Whole time, as bro said earlier, they bringing in drones. They scoping out more to take over. They just linked with China.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're playing the ultimate Edomite role, man. They're smiling in the United States' face, acting like it's all good, but only preparing more war, man.
Yeah, to back you up on that, I did a lesson recently going into what they call the pacification paradox. Brothers looked that up, the pacification paradox. And pretty much it just echoes 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, meaning the closer we get to war, the more these governments and these puppet heads talk about peace, man. So really, the more you hear them speak about peace, that's how you know we're that much closer to this shit fully breaking out. And they do that to pacify the people so that they don't have to worry about, in-house chaos before the outside chaos fully ensues, man. So they push that shit in people's ears.
Got a precept. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Just backing the brother up. So yeah, they keep talking about peace and how Trump is supposed to go over there and resolve the situation between Russia and Ukraine, but meanwhile, it's completely going up in flames. And it's funny because that both of these nations, when it comes to the small hats over there in Israel, the state of Israel right now, and the Russians and Trump, they're all making the exact same moves. Because here it is, they keep talking about treaty. The Russians keep going in and have all these meetings to do a treaty, and what happens? He smacks the fuck out of Ukraine in the midst of it. And that's exactly what we just seen in another video what Trump was doing. Here it is, they're supposed to be going to Qatar to meet with them heads of the Middle Eastern nations, and they go to meet to sign a peace deal, and then they get bombed.
Yeah,
bomb them, yeah.
It's the same thing. Like Putin's doing the exact same shit over in Ukraine.
Yeah. And the communists, they was talking about that. They was like, man, Qatar, y'all need to call Russia. They go like, F the US. Didn't he just give y'all a plane? They gave Trump a $400 million plane.
Yeah.
And they just let that shit go down.
And this is wartime, man, because another country to watch is China. China wants to go over there and take Taiwan, so they can flex the exact same way Russia's flex. It's just any day now, just going there and fucking invade the motherfucker. And at this point, the United States is such a chump when it comes to China and Russia. They might not even do shit about it. You're supposed to be their ally, but ain't shit gonna be going down, man.
Yeah.
You got another video out?
No, that's it on that one. There's another YouTube one that's a little bit longer. It kind of Steve rambling into.
Yeah, that one about an hour. So,
but
there's a point in there you want me to go to, let me know. But other than that,
just kind of like maybe the intro of it a little bit we can touch on. We don't have to watch that whole video, but it still ties into all these other Instagram clips, showing that hey, we in the time of war. But this is this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38. Verse 1, it says, "And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief priests of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So all these, no matter what, they keep talking about stopping the shit that's going on in Ukraine. This prophecy has been activated. The hooks are in fucking Russia's mouth, Putin's mouth. And every time people keep talking about how, they're going to talk of peace, they're going to, that fishing rod is going to reel his ass right back in, man. He's going to pull, and there's going to be another issue. He can't stop. He can't help himself but keep striking them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he's being worked on by the Lord. And, it's kind of like that movie Oppenheimer when they showed that nigga, he was seeing the vision in his, in his dreams. That's probably what Putin be seeing. He be seeing, him setting the nukes off and blowing this bitch away, man.
Yeah. The Lord be talking to these world leaders like he talked to the Egyptian king during the time of Josiah, to go up and fight, and he got that directly from the Lord, man.
Yeah.
And I did that lesson on Genghis Khan too, man. About how he said, if you had not committed such great sins, God would not have sent me to do this to you.
Yeah,
that's a quote he used to say to people, because that nigga was just kicking ass and taking women, bro. That's all he was doing.
He was a harbinger of death, bro.
Yeah. So the Lord be on the minds of these world leaders to do his will on the earth. And we already know that. We already know how the story gonna go.
That's right. a little bit more in that precept. Verse 5, it says, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And it says, and many days and years, after many days thou shalt be Slakia. After many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter days thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always wastes, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. So all these countries, no matter what, is going to be pulled into the great war, the woe 3. Okay.
Right.
And the scriptures say that, the second woe is past, so the third woe cometh quickly. And as you can see, it is coming quickly. Like, it seemed like it was tarrying for a while, but things are intensifying pretty heavily right now when it comes to these signs of World War III being full blown. We just waiting for that prophecy of the MOTB to come to pass.
Yeah. I'll say, and they also too, they got like a fucking media blackout on what's really going on, because you hear some shit like the whole Venezuela thing, when Trump hit that Venezuelan ship, you may hear something one moment, and then the next thing it kind of get quiet. Like, you can't even hop on TikTok and these alternative, media sources now and really see what's really going on, over there in Ukraine and in Gaza, because fucking Netanyahu, this dude wants to completely fabricate the story, man. He pretty much want to make you believe that, we're not killing, all these thousands of women and babies, They trying to put a media blackout on it, so it's really worse than what we know, man.
That's right.
Yeah. That's right, brother.
God.
More on that up.
I had another precept. If brothers didn't have one.
Well, Kyle, let me read this real quick on the comment board. Shalom, brothers. This is Be Like Mind. He posted the definition of pacification paradox. It says the pacification paradox refers to a situation where efforts to establish peace or order, particularly in a conflict-ridden area, might inadvertently perpetuate or even escalate violence. Essentially, the paradox suggests that actions intended to pacify or stabilize a region might instead deepen the conflicts, make resistance more entrenched, or lead to unintended consequences.
Right. Sometimes it's a lose-lose situation, man.
Yeah.
But that's because the Lord is involved. When the scriptures say the Lord of hosts mustereth the battle, man. You understand, on a spiritual level, it's hotbeds of violence and bloodshed, man. And when the Lord wants to turn that switch up, these nations gonna get attracted like the Valley of Jehoshaphat, man.
Yeah. God. Put him in a pinch like he had the Egyptians, man. He kept hitting them with plagues, and then he kept hardening their hearts to be rebellious. So he made sure that went down.
That's right. Just to back you up real quick, this is Isaiah 55:11 says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it.
That's right.
So ultimately, like the brother is saying, you can't stop the Lord. He had prophecies written for a reason. And the prophecies we're going in today is going into, war and rumors of war, death and destruction.
That's right.
So all of this is being accomplished is what we're witnessing. The scriptures in Matthew say all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yahweh Shai said these things must come to pass. That means they have to happen. So you shouldn't be in a mindset, you people in America, like, oh my God, why do you guys want this to happen? You're crying and worried about what's to come. We need to pray for this country or pray for this country that this stop. This needs to stop. No, it needs to continue. Okay. It needs to escalate because we want to go home.
Yeah. Nah, Charlie Kirk was a good white boy. You gotta pray for him.
You got a family, brother.
Man.
Real quick, want to back up your point you just made, Yawasop, because Scripture said the word, Salaki, the Lord's word don't go out void, and we know what His determination is to do in these times, man. This is Zephaniah 3:8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey." It says, "For my determination is to gather the nations," like the brothers just brought out. The Lord is gathering; He's mustering a host of the battle, man. He's awakened all these heathen nations, and He's gathering them for what? For the day of the Lord, man, to destroy this place. Okay, it says, "For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy."
Right.
Backing up the point, man, that's what the Lord is determined to do, because this second death is going to be by way of fire.
That's right.
Thermonuclear fire, man.
Yep. That's right. When it says devour the earth, that means not literally the whole earth, but America is going to be torched, and a lot of these other countries going to get hit with these chariots.
God.
And it's really going to be a war all over the place, man. But we can play this video and y'all get y'all last precepts. We're going to play just the intro, I guess.
Yeah.
Developing news coming out in the past couple of hours today, September the 15th, 2025, as we are hearing that Russia has made the announcement that NATO is at war with them, and we're hearing that this is going to be World War III. Let's take a look at the latest headlines so you can see it for yourself. Now, Putin's spokesman makes a chilling World War III comment as NATO, they say, is at war with Russia. Take a look at the headlines. NATO is at war with Russia, the Kremlin says, and a lot of people are concerned about this because this will directly involve the United States. And we had heard that the U.S. had just come out, I let you know yesterday, warned against this and said, we will defend every inch of NATO territory. Now, take a look at some more of the headlines with me. Representative Cole said he was going to retire yesterday, but the GOP hawk worries about World War III after the Russian escalation that has currently launched. In addition to that, take a look. Longtime GOP lawmaker says, we've never seen anything like this. He warns Trump of World War III. Now, take a look at this. As I mentioned to you, we actually have seen Article 5 already initiated. World War III fear is real. You can see this came out about 5 days ago when we saw those drone attacks enter into Poland. What will happen if Russia-Poland conflict activates NATO Article 4 and 5? 4 has already been initiated, which means that the NATO nations are coming together saying, do we need to unify globally against Russia for what is currently taking place? Now, Russia warns.
Gosh, lucky. I noticed that date's the same day Charlie Kirk went out.
Yeah. That's it, bro.
But
Because
you
Poland is, Poland is more special because it's in NATO. Like when Ukraine happened, it's not a lot that the world could do. So with this happening, if Russia make that move, then come on, man. You niggas. Hey, the fun time is over, man. They're gonna shut down the dispensary. They're gonna shut down these grocery stores. The only way you really gonna want to eat, you gotta get to see him, and you gotta enter the service, man.
Yep, that's right. Get your ass to work, boy.
Yeah, because everybody's kind of been in this mindset. Generally, it's peace and safety. Because ever since shit didn't go down between the United States and Iran, and it kind of stabilized itself out a little bit, everybody kind of got comfortable. But meanwhile, there's been heavy distractions going on, like with NFL, football, with the celebrities, with Charlie Kirk. There's a lot of distractions heavily being pushed out. But meanwhile, shit is off the chain right now between NATO and Russia. And never before in history have we seen Russia, not since World War II, coming out and saying, hey, we're ready for World War III. And we're ready to, shoot a tactical nuke. Like, this is bad.
Yeah.
But nobody's noticing this shit right now on how bad it's really escalating. It's actually happening real quick. So it's truly about to catch a lot of people off guard in a big way.
That's right. I had a precept.
God.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51. verse 7, it says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunk of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. All right. This is why Netanyahu's all over the place, bombing everybody. Everybody pretending like they ain't the psychopaths. You know, they at work scared to say something about people. You know, this nigga's off the chain. You know, and then all of these other nations, they're crying about their energy prices are high. You know, they can't get oil. All of these different things. This is chaos that comes out of Babylon being in rulership, man. You know, and all of these Western philosophies that have went all throughout the world. But verse 8 says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. You know, that's to the brother's point. He said this is going to happen suddenly, man, quickly. You know, it's going to catch you off guard. You know, next thing you know, you're seeing a commercial, you know, telling you to line up at your nearest Walmart. You know,
telling you to take cover, get to the basement, take shelter.
Mm-hmm. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her and take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. But we all know, as it says, verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Okay, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. And see, when people start doing that, it's go time, man. You know, all of a sudden Issachar ain't gonna be trying to cross the border to get in this motherfucker no more.
Right.
Yep.
Everybody gonna be trying to get underground.
Yeah, people gonna be going back and they gonna go what they know, because it's gonna be every man for himself kind of energy in the earth, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's right.
And it says, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Okay, so this is the breaking point of the Most High, man. He's seen enough, man. Okay. All the way to chattel slavery, all the way up to this shit is all up to this point, man. He's doing too much. He's done too much. But the main point, verse 11, it says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord Yahweh hath raised up the spirit of the king of the Medes. You know, and that's the main point. The Most High stirred this thing up. You know, like the Lord says, like the brother brought out, he put the hooks in the jaws of Russia. Okay. It says it here. He's going to stir up the spirit of the Medes, because, you know, in the ancient world, the Babylonians fell to who? The Medo-Persian Empire, you know? But it was a spirit on them to go ahead and take them down in their time. And the Lord is right. stirring that spirit back up against spiritual Babylon. All right. And it says, Salakia. It says, for his device is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple, you know? So we're at the end of this thing, man.
Baba Kashab, bro. Spirit, you were in Jeremiah 51, as one of the brothers posted the same scripture I was thinking about. But if you can go up to verse 1 and 2.
Salaki. Jeremiah 51 and 1. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. Verse 2, and I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about.
When you look up that word fanners, that goes in the blue letter, it says the invasion or barbarian tribes. Okay, so that's talking about other countries, you know, coming in that are not, you know, foreign, that are foreign to this land, basically invading. Okay,
yeah.
So this place is gonna be attacked. There will be war on U.S. soil too. It's gonna be by Russia. It's gonna be by China. It's gonna be by all United States enemies. Okay, they're gonna come over here and get a piece of this pie, because this is the land of unwalled villages. There's nothing stopping them. And there's no amount of missile defense systems that you can do to stop it. You don't got enough time to build another Iron Dome over here, like Trump was talking about.
Yeah.
Shit gonna pop off way before that. And even if you do build it, it's not enough to stop, you know, millions and millions of missiles.
Yeah, because that's also what essentially what happened to ancient Rome. You know, when ancient Rome fell, they ended up getting their barbaric tribes, you know. And Rome's their army, their military was stretched too thin back then as well. So that's pretty much history repeating itself, man. It's pretty much playing out all over again. You know, America not gonna be able to fight on all these damn fronts, man. Okay. And that's why they really just gonna start needing bodies. Like the dream that one of the brothers had posted in a group chat, you know, that Jake had the dream, and he's seen, I think he said Gen Z's, you know, a bunch of young niggas pretty much just bodies going out there to die, man. He said they didn't even know what the fuck they was doing. You know, they could barely shoot the fucking gun. They was just dying. They just needed bodies, man. You know, but that's the times we in.
Yeah, and that was heavy dream because that party said they were in the older style uniforms, like back from like, you know, the 80s and the 90s. They were, so that was a spirit, because back then when they were wearing those style uniforms and that type of camo, you know, that's been when war was heavy. So the Lord is bringing that same war type spirit back, and He's gonna get you young niggas, man.
That's right.
It's good for you.
I got a last precept.
Yeah.
Lucky. Go ahead, bro.
Anybody got another precept too?
Yeah, whatever y'all last precepts are, go ahead and bring them out.
It's Revelation 17. And he said to me, the waters which thou sawest are the horse, which is America. You know, the horse is American in the scriptures. Cities are peoples and multitude and nations and tongues. You know, because this is a multicultural piece. You know, they got distractions, you know, so high because World War III about to kick off. It say, and 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High put in their hearts to fulfill His will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So that, you know, that goes into what we were saying. The Most High controls these nations, and everybody's going to decide to just dump on America, bro. And the Lord gonna get us out of here.
Yeah. They gonna get a taste of them that Russian warfare start spreading across Poland. They gonna be like, oh hell no.
Yeah. They don't want
America, you the real problem, bitch.
Yeah, they gotta cut this shit out.
Yeah. Because they getting 40% of their energy comes from Russia, man. So they can't even have good energy prices or power unless Russia cooperates to some degree, you know.
Yeah. Had another precept. It's Habakkuk 2:5 says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So that's why, you know, we've seen the opening video, all those countries, you see 10 countries within the past 2 years, he attacked. And he attacked them to what? To take over and to take those resources.
Yep.
You know, and it's the same thing. Russia's in the same spirit. They just attack in different countries than the United States is. Russia's target is Ukraine, and it's going to go and spread more and more. So this devil's got to be put down in order to be stopped. He just has to be done. Yahweh Shai got to come back and put this devil down.
Yeah, that's right. And people don't realize that, but over there, they see the war as more justified because people don't know about those landmarks and those borders over there, you know, but a lot of them see them as the former Soviet Unions. A lot of them do speak Russian. They don't even speak Ukrainian, you know. So they're going by the old borders because Esau redrew all them borders in World War II, you know, cutting all these various deals. But the people that live there, you know, feel differently, you know.
God, that's right.
All right. Taz, could you go back to that Revelation 17, brother? So lock in, read one more verse down.
Yeah, God. This Revelation 17 and 15. Again. Well, yeah, let's start there. It said, and he said unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and
See,
to agree.
that's the point. You know, that's the Bible reiterating that the Lord is working on the minds of these people, man. You know, they set the EU up to play ball, to form the European Union, to get together, and for the appointed time that they would be broken apart and destroyed, man. You know, this is all the orchestration of the Heavenly Father. You know, go ahead.
And it says, Revelation 17 and 16 again, for the Most High put it in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the women which thou sawest is the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth.
Yeah. Now, who is that talking about?
It's Babylon in America.
That's right. So this is at the end of that thing, man. You know.
Yep.
You brothers got any more precepts?
No, I don't.
Con. All right. So with that, we're going to close out. I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Chadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hope for the elect. Shalom Barakatam. Lord willing, this is edifying. Till the next time. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom Yasharallah. The Bible Ball.
Yasharallah, Baba.